Um, for me, violent extremism can take form in, or can take many different forms. Um, I don't believe, unlike some of the rhetoric that we've seen and continue to see, that it's necessarily linked to religion in the way that some would like us to believe. I think that violent extremism comes from people who are hurting and people who are looking for a way to call something theirs and are looking for other people to call family. I think that we see violent extremism on urban streets in the form of gangs. I think we can see violent extremism in the form of hate groups. And I think we can see violent extremism in the international sense that we've come to know it as in the last 12 to 15 years or so. So I definitely think that it takes a lot of different forms. But my hesitancy around some of the rhetoric on violent extremism is that we use it to pit people against one another instead of finding a way to relate to one another so that we can pull them back into the light. On a scale of 1 to 10?
With 10 being the worst.
Yeah. I would say it varies. Some days I wake up and I'm more fearful than others of what could happen to me. For me personally, my fear of violent extremism is more domestic than it is international, which I think is different from what we often hear. But so yeah, I would say that it can vary from 1 to 10, depending on the day, the month, what may be happening in my own personal life, where I may be doing work at the time, all of those different things. So honestly, no. I think that violent extremism employs too many people. I think that violent extremism feeds too many fears, of which employs too many people. And I think that a lot of powerful people benefit from violent extremism existing for it to really, truly be a priority to eliminate. I do not think they are effective. Effective in stopping. I think they could be. But we've always used propaganda to exacerbate violent extremism instead of stopping it. And so I think that's where our priority is in the media, unfortunately. I think the first thing we can do is stop and listen to one another. And one of the things that I do is always keep in mind that if you are human, you have the ability to do anything, to feel anything, which means as dark of a place as I think those people who are participating in violent extremism may be in, as a human being, I have to understand that I could also at any time end up in that same position, but I haven't yet. So how can I use what has helped me to help others? I just think that, in my opinion, the ultimate reason why people end up turning to the violent extremism is because those other things that they've tried in order to get seen and heard hasn't worked for them.